Welcome back to episode 2 of Talking Shit. So by now, you should have a substantial pile going with all your different layers of vegetable scraps, manure, some leaves, maybe some grass clippings, not too many grass clippings because they'll mat it down too much. And so it's big enough now just to let it start doing its thing, and you want it to decompose. You know it's ready when there are no recognizable or very few recognizable pieces in there. So this is a good size. It could go a little bit taller, but not a whole lot. Once you're here, you want to aerate it. So I like to use an old handle from a pitchfork or whatever. And I'm just going to put some holes in there. Help air get down to the center. That'll help it heat up. Okay? You can't do too many. And then you're going to want to know when to turn it. And the best way to do that is figure out whether it's hot in the middle. If it's still hot down in the middle, then it's still cooking, still doing its thing. So you want to wait until it's cool. And the best thing I know to use for a thermometer is just an old metal pole of some sort. And you're just going to put it down through the middle. And every few days, you can take it out and feel the end of it. And if it's warm, it's still cooking. So leave it alone. Once it's cool to the touch, then it's time to turn the compost pile, which I'll show you how to do next time. For now, there are a couple things that people mention to me. One is if there's any residue of a weed killer like 2,4-D or an herbicide in either the horse manure or the hay, it can affect your compost and the crops you're trying to grow. So if you just make a pile and leave it to decompose, yes, it'll eventually decompose, but some of that residue might remain and it'll affect the growth of your crops. So if you're going to manage your compost pile for optimal results, you'll want to aerate it, let it get some sun, and turn it every so often. The heat that's going to be generated inside, and it gets hot enough actually to turn some of that stuff to ash, is going to help break down the herbicide too. So if you're managing it like this, any residue of 2,4-D should not be an issue. It should break it down. If you just leave the pile, then you might not want to use that on your garden. The other thing is you do not want to use dog shit. Don't use cat shit in your compost because you don't want to be eating vegetables that were grown in dog and cat shit. You just don't. So that's it. Happy composting. Thanks for talking shit.